My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2, specifically the Dimensional Portal in Echoes of the Void. Week Sneak Challenge. Utilize stealth to avoid losing your units. There's Melting Remnant with the Little Fade lead and primitive molds, and then we also have Lunar Coven with the phase and apply Conduit 1 to a friendly unit. We've also got the Pyre Heart of Herzl's Horde, making deployable upgrade 50% cheaper and giving us 4 more deployable Ember. And then the mutators are as follows. Start with Shadow's Sheath. Circle of Life, friendly units propagate 1 on Slay. So Shadow's Sheath is also gain stealth on Slay, and then propagate it. Assuming it works in that order. And then the Floor is Lava. All units get Pyogel 1, which means as you slay enemy units... propagate doesn't propagate negatives. Never mind, we're fine. But still, your units are very vulnerable. Oh, Wickless Baron. That's going to grow pretty big if we do this correctly. 2 Purifying Cleansers in the base deck, as well as Phase Blessing to support some health. Seraphitonis Chosen of Entropy. Kale and Archeon. Wow. It's an old school run right here. With the deployable Herzl's Horde, our goal is to set up a bottom line that is capable of starting to slay and then just never stopping. So that we are pretty much always hidden. Void Fragment as our first. At the end of the battle, purge a card. Yes, please. I would love to remove 8 cards from this deck. Sick. Firelight. Extinguish. Apply +5/+5 and burn out 2 to friendly units. Little Icarus. Spike 7 on Slay. Gain 2 damage and spikes 2 permanently. But also, you're going to find it a lot easier to do that, courtesy of the Fog of Invasion. Oh, that's so good for us. Mark of Invasion gives Lil Fade some targets to be slaying, even at the very start. I'm going to go Moon Ritual and Phase Blessings on the top line to try and get Little Fade some additional armor, just in case it needs it later. Sadly, I can't project damage far enough to take out the Collector. If they propagate on Slay, I want multiple different targets on the top line to actually have Conduit, because then they'll propagate additional Conduit. That ought to do. I'm about to lose my last turn of stealth on Little Fade, unfortunately. But I can give a huge amount of armor. The Pyogel is going to negatively influence the effect of that armor, but it looks like we're okay. I mean, a Draft is a pretty good unit. It's a pretty good spell, basically. Starstruck. I'd have a lot of control of whether or not that triggers Dazed. While Little Fade is growing, I definitely need some ways of dealing a lot of damage to the enemies, and I have almost none of that, so actually I'll take Silver Strike. Moving a card from the deck. This one, like, the stewards are gonna go pretty quick. I'll take out Shield Steward number 1 first. Magic, Merchant of Steel, Remnant. Merchants of Magic do matter. A Phase Blessing that's good enough is going to be all of the defense that I need the entire run. I'll argue that Remnant units are also probably a little better here, just due to the support we already have with the Primitive Molds and the Purifying Cleansers. Double stack, interesting. Yo! No! Why are we in the dimensional portal? God damn it! Bounty Stalker, 1 Ember, 2 size, Stealth 1, Extinguish. Gain plus 8 damage permanently. Unfortunately, because we are in the dimensional portal, even if I won with this card, it would not gild. Also, Wickless Tycoon is here and it's far better right now. Harvest to gain 10 gold. I'm actually not thrilled about the idea of double stacking any of these, unfortunately. Plus 10 magic power for a phase blessing is okay. I'm not even interested in re-rolling because then I won't even be able to buy the more important cards. Tough stuff. I think the Phase should probably be second in line here, so that it gets to hide behind the bulk of the Wickless Baron when it needs to. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about the Collector again. But thankfully, with the Harvest Tycoon on the bottom line, there's like no enemies in this way of what's going on. Yeah, this is about as bad as it gets. I've got a bunch of turns of stealth, but it doesn't matter. I can kill the enemy backline. That's nice. Draft to clear the top line. Give you some additional burnout. That'd be relevant. Stand on the Crusader behind you, I guess. I'm gonna have to do some reforming. Unfortunately, with this enemy having spikes, they just amp the damage from every attack we do as well, because they have spikes and we have Pyogel. So it's one of probably the worst possible outcomes for us that was there. And unfortunately, by the time it goes to the next floor, our units will just instantly die to it. So this comes down to whether or not my Pyre is capable of taking out Legion. Oh, little bait. Little bait. Nice. Get to do some additional damage with you? Sure. Oof. That sucked. Oh, more stealth. Admittedly, more stealth is pretty good. Shadow Sheath gives +3 damage per stack of stealth, so having additional stacks of stealth, really good. I also really like the idea of Entombed Explosive. I'm gonna take the Extinguish first. Ooh, Medla. Oh, no. Give me a daze. That'll be relevant. Remove the other shield steward. Gotta go. Merchant of Steel. Oh, dualism. Endless. Hello, Endless. Yes, Endless. You'll be going on Molten Encasement, Endless. Let's see. Anyone who cares about dualism? Legion of Wax. Do you care about dualism? I don't think you care about dualism. Sure, I can find something to do with you, though. No one cares about dualism, it turns out. Molten Encasement cares about dualism. I think Strength Stone for Legion of Wax makes some sense. Gives some damage. Also, some additional health on the Wickless Baron makes a lot of sense. On summon, spawn a random friendly unit from your deck. So the interesting thing about that is I think Legion of Wax, when you extinguish, you'll summon 2 Twins of Wax, and those Twins of Wax I think will then pull units out of the deck. Only problem is, we'll run out of units very quickly. Plus 10 damage, Strike applies 20 corruption. It's pretty good. It's fine. Dominating control to add melee weakness and spell weakness to a target. I mean, Legion of Wax would love to do that. Yeah, of course. Probably prefer to be mini stone though. I'm gonna give it dominating authority, actually. Hopefully it kills on turn 1. We'll get Legion Wax midline. Ooh, no one slays on bottom line this turn. That's tough. Yeah, if I can't start slaying, it's going to be really difficult for me to continue slaying. I'm not going to block the top floor. I want to be able to play Primitive Molds and just immediately throw some more Twins of Wax on the top line. These ones don't even have burnout, so I'll just give them the additional stealth. At least we're slaying someone for the first time on the bottom line. Oh, that line's really not going okay. This is, it's about as bad as it gets. Yeah, not having a plan for how damage would be dealt by that line turns out not great. Not a great idea. Unfortunately, as soon as Ilfade gets a slay via the spikes, immediately they go invisible, so I can't use them for more. Oh no, the Molten Encasement, when it's played, has stealth. Ah, I didn't even think about that. Ah. I'm gonna need, like, a hold of a blade to be able to kill my own molten encasement. Yuck. No, it's bad. I don't want that. I mean, I love that I reformed the Legion of Wax. I don't love that I don't have anywhere to put it. Never mind, we have enough damage and corruption that we just win the bottom line anyway. Good. Wax and Spike apply +4 damage and burn out 4 to friendly units. Good if it propagates. Decent on a Legion Wax that I want to kill. Random Pact, giving endless to a friendly unit. Probably a much more important thing for me to have. End up popping that on Little Fade and just replay Little Fade consistently. Ugh. Selena Acolyte. With full Mage Blade and Sweep, and we also have the ability to control whether or not we're in phase. I need capacity and I need energy. I think I need energy first, because the bottom line needs to be Wickless, Tycoon probably in the early game, and then I remove that and then just use Baron. Selena Acolyte and Little Fade on the bottom line, and then the rest of it is just for Legions of Wax. I have to take the additional deployment Ember first. Cut a Spear Steward. Hey, we got a lot of money for Merchant Trinkets. There's some spells that I care a little bit about, like, you know, Intrinsic would be nice, Holdover would be nice. End of list? First unit you summon each turn gets Conduit 4. Not bad in the world where I am using the Phase Blessings. Maul Braces. Friendly units give Armor 5 to the front friendly unit on Extinguish. I think that's probably just worthwhile having as well. Restore 10 health to the lowest friendly health unit on Moonseeker. Unlikely to be especially relevant, but... I was about to say, if I had the money left over, I'd buy it. Yo, copy a card or copy a card 5 times. This is bad. Yeah, currently this isn't good. I'm gonna get a second copy of the Molten Encasement so that I can try and manage 2 floors with it, especially after I get additional capacity. That'll be really relevant. And if Breaststone spawn on each floor is an opportunity for me to kill a couple of my own units and then allow them to come back and then... Oh my god, I have so much deployment info. That's a mistake. I should have taken capacity earlier. Oops. Oops. Can't do anything about that now. Oops. When you... Oops. You can either... consistently think about the oops and nothing else forever again, or you can put it the back of mind and continue playing game. I'm choosing to do that one. Units propagate on Slay, so if I bring Selena Acolyte back and then it slays again, it'll get more burnout, so it's okay. Let's not let you get Titan Skin 5. Certainly not thrilled about the anything that's been happening. Scarred Sentinel's gonna get to bop us 2 times, which is too many times. I mean, I can have Little Fade with Burnout and Endless, but then I still have to play it every single time. And also, it dies before it even gets out of stealth. Actually, what about generating different units? Gotta play both of these first, and then I get the fade. There we go. So what about draft and then fade at the very back? Then fade gets another slay. That's great. Oh, I wish I could play that Legion of Wax somewhere. Purifying Cleanse to extend your burnout timer on the bottom line there. Unfortunately, 3 health has made it past. Oh, perfect. We got exactly the card in the deck that's left with the ability to take that out. Beautiful. Because they attack past all the stealth units immediately. Great, that gets us there, and also everything except for the Wickless Tycoon dies, which means I'm getting maximum money! Oh, I love maximum money. Wicked Blaze, reform a unit, play additional 10. Having some directed reform is certainly nice. Moonbeam helps set up targets a little bit. Moonrise helps with additional energy costs, which is not a problem for us at all, ever. I'm going to take a escalation to try and move enemy targets out of their comfort. I mean, there's got to be a Merchant of Steel. That Selena Acolyte is begging for upgrades. Multi-strike is certainly one of those upgrades. Plus 15, plus 5 in Burnout 1. I'll happily put that on a draft. Who's already comfortable with it? Hard to large stone anyone in this world, unfortunately. Reroll. Tauntauts. I mean, I can give that to the Wickless Baron just for safety's sake, and I probably should. Plus 14 straight up to a draft, and then check the artifact. Departure manifest. Non-deployables are now deployable. Honestly, that just gives me the ability to play the draft or the Molten Encasements in the opening hand. Huge. Damn it! Oh, I don't have enough health to give you. There you go. You can have 10 health to a 50% chance to give me an artifact, and unfortunately, you didn't. And now I just have to walk away. Limp away. But. Well, I mean, maybe the additional energy makes sense in the world that now I've got all of these. Maybe. That'll be our bottom four. Is it? No, Legion of Wax should be our bottom floor. Which then really complicates our harvest floor. Maybe each of them's like a half harvest floor, maybe. Plus, Little Fade being this far out of the loop feels awful. No, I gotta get Little Fade on the bottom line somehow. It's endless for you. Single Moon Ritual this turn already sets up Selena Acolyte having Slay next. I wonder if I should Star Strike my own Molten Encasement. Yeah. Because then I can replay it next turn, but this also gives me the additional damage on Selena Acolyte. Like, it gives 4 stacks of stealth. 3 damage for each stack is 12 additional damage, and Multi-Strike then takes that up to 24. If I send someone, it's to the back of that floor. Great, we can get the Adamant Shield Bearer off this floor. Completely fine. Sadly, Wicked Blaze doesn't have targets. Purifying Cleanse keeps the draft alive on the top line. I mean, If Little Vade gets to score a sleigh on the top line, I'll let him go there to score the sleigh on the top line. That's a mistake. I don't reform right now because I know exactly who's coming from the reform, and I know exactly also that I don't have enough space for that. Oh my god, Twin of Wax just won't die. I need so much additional space so I can run them. Good lord, we don't even get the Rabbit and Zealot down twice. Unfortunately, I know I can never reform it. I don't have the space to play it. Well, here's hoping this floor is enough for us to win still. Full moon. New moon, and then we'll have full moon next turn. I suspect it will be enough. Yeah. 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 Yeah, just with the ridiculous amount of damage that we've got, and also all we have to do is start slaying the enemy, and then we keep slaying the enemy because they have reanimate. So. Formless Child, 2 Ember 1 size, deployable. On extinguish, return a random defeated unit to your hand and apply plus 40 damage. Honestly, not bad, but I'm looking at that resin removal right now. That's a way to get some Pyogel off of my own units. Duality. Deal 10 damage to an enemy unit or restore 10 health to a friendly. It's attuned as well, so it'll benefit from the conduit we have from Stardust Rate. Lunacy doesn't make sense in a world where I'm not benefiting directly from Moon Cycle. I'll take a duality, yeah. I'm pretty happy to cut a random primitive mold because I'm not able to use it as consistently. It has, in every which way, it has to be the Merchant Trinkets here with the Pyromanes next to it. When a friendly unit dies, give 10 additional damage to that unit. Good. Spells get an extra upgrade slot. Probably not relevant in this run. Selena unit gets plus 20 damage during full moon. Yes. If at the end of the turn it's full moon, spells in hand get plus 10. Oh, Pyrestone Housing is huge. Units get an extra upgrade slot so that I can try and give Legion of Wax something like either Multi-Strike, Burnout, or Mini Stone would be ideal as well. I don't really end turn with spells in hand that often, so Moonstone's never really particularly appealing to me. But Lost Luggage on the turn off the deployment phase, draw until we have 10 cards, certainly is, and I'll relent and just take the Moonstone as well. I'm very comfortable with removing cards. The thinner this deck gets, the better this deck gets. Get a Purifying Cleanse out of there. I don't think Silver Strike is really doing too much anymore. So I need to plan around consistent removal of Cherubs on the bottom line, so it really feels like this is the Selena Acolyte. And I also really feel like I should get my Wickless Tycoon down there. That said, the rest of this floor can just be Molten Encasement to help keep them comfortable. Legion of Wax, if you deploy on the top line on the top turn, you will be attacked by Archeon and get to respond, which is nice. You won't be attacked by Archeon because Archeon won't see you for the first turn, so perhaps actually I shouldn't do that. We're already in full moon. I have 4 ways to shift, so I'll use 3 of them. 1, 2. Oh, no, we're already in full moon, so I'll use all of them, rather. Remnant Friendless on you. Action. I mean, yeah, what else is there to say? Get additional burnout on top line. I could also apply burnout to Legion of Wax as my way to try and do that, but also Legion of Wax will just explode this turn. That has been well set up. Ooh. In terms of scaling damage, one of the best things I can do is just give the additional stealth to this floor, so I'm gonna explode my own. And now we've got 115 damage, multi-strike. It doesn't have to strike in quick if the enemy is already, like, dying. Sorry, it doesn't have to strike in quick if the enemy doesn't get to attack. That's what I meant to say. I mean, duality is pretty much unnecessary. Unfortunately, I can't use it to damage friendly units. It only damages enemies. I don't have anywhere I can play the unit I would get out of Weaker Blaze. Molten Encasement coming back with 30 more damage every single time. It's eventually going to become a real unit. He gets so much conduit on the bottom line from propagating on Slay as well. It really helps these phase blessings. I don't really want to Star Strike, because I do like stealth. I do suspect you're going to have some difficulty on this bottom line against us. Oh, the money. The pure money of it all. Wax and Spike apply 4x damage and burnout for friendly units. Honestly, on the bottom line, that's a huge damage spike. And sure, it gives them burnout, but why would they care? Ooh, I don't want to turn that down because I think it'll probably, like, not give me the opportunity, maybe. I don't want to risk that. I'm just going to remove another primitive mold because I really don't need reform as often as I have it. Merchant of Arms. Admittedly, the more we can do in a deployable phase, the better off we'll be. Like a Legion, honestly, like Legion of Wax in a burnout room would be incredible. Also Merchant of Magic with additional money. Show me the arms, especially because of the higher health. Yeah, Hall of Mirrors, -2 to size. When you play a unit, create a copy of it. When you play a unit, importantly, not when you summon a unit. But it does it on summon as well, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure that does on summon. So, like, Legion of Wax, if I play that on a floor with Hall of Mirrors, obviously the entire thing overfills ridiculously, but I don't know, that could be fun. Especially if I get a good upgrade in a Merchant of Steel in just a moment. I'm going to take that. I'm going to make it deployable. I'm going to re-roll. I mean, Void Armament, obviously incredible. Boiler Room, obviously also incredible. There are definitely units that will be able to wield the Void Armament and just never die as a result. I think like a second copy of the good draft is honestly probably a good idea. What else? What else? Maybe Wax and Spike just for getting burnout on units, so it's easier for Legion Wax to die. Actually, it also deploys damage on other fields, and it does it without energy. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, I don't want to start the battle. Obviously, I want to upgrade my champ. How dare you not give me an opportunity to do so? I've gone all the way with the Little Icarus line here, by the way, and it's complete garbage. It can't slay without getting stealth, and usually the reason you use Little Icarus is so you can give it a bunch of armor, and then that armor allows the spikes to get a stupid amount of slays, but the spikes can't slay more than one before I am stealthed, and I don't get hit anymore. So it's means to stay. Terrible curses. Ooh, terrible curses. Definitely don't want that. Can I go like Lorve double Molten Encasement bottom line maybe? Like if this works, the scaling goes crazy. This phase out of and back into full moon. Then I could give burnout to the next floor, but I think the additional damage on this floor makes a lot more sense. So much energy from that turn as well. I'm gonna escalate you just so that you die to the draft this turn, so I don't have to worry about resummoning. I love this midline. The amount of 20 corruption we're giving, it's really gonna ruin big health units as they try and ascend. Molten encasement. Flip the script once. And then I'm gonna go big wax and spike for a bunch more damage to the field as well. And that additional damage makes it very easy to play a Void Armament, and I'm also going to use both Phase Blessings just to give a ridiculous amount of additional health. To our Selena Acolyte. Unfortunately, we were off cycle to be able to deal with those enemies there. Present removal. Beautiful. Oh my god. Damage on that bottom line. Although, as it turns out, we also have enough to take out both of the top line. I'll phase so that even if I dead draw here, I'll still be in the right phase. Well, I thought. Yeah, we get there anyway. And primitive mold, bring back the draft. Damn it. Not the unit I was hoping to bring back. Oh, obviously I have a Wicked Blaze. I can literally just bring it back. There you go. Burn out. Woo! Oh, so much value put at that bottom lane. Now I no longer need the Wickless Tycoon down there because money doesn't make any more sense. Fatal Melting. I have some friendly unit deaths, but honestly not enough to take care of that or Memento. Cosmic Bolt will eventually do a ridiculous amount of damage just courtesy of the conduit that Selena Acolyte consistently grants, or gains, rather. I'm going to cut a Purifying Cleanse from the deck, because typically I do just want the unit to die rather than to give it additional burnout, even if it's a draft, because I have enough reform. And we've got to go to the Merchant of Steel. Quick and Multi-Strike should probably both go on Selena Acolyte. Legion of Wax, you want burnout so that I can, like, just play a stupid amount of you constantly on that floor. There's that burnout. Dualism, Corruption 40. It's whatever. If I could only give Dualism to the Molten Engagements, though. I know they already have Dualism, but Dualism? Now I'm listening. Unit cards without upgrades cost -1. Do I have any unit cards without upgrades? Just the Wickless Tycoon, a card that I'm not going to play. By the way, Artificial Firestone, 3 additional Deployment Ember. If I also don't play the Wickless Tycoon, I don't need any additional Deployment Ember. Judge the Scales from Deployment Phase, discard any number of cards and draw that many. No, I want to play my cards from the thing. So this is a rare situation where a draw relic, an energy relic, and an energy relic, I'm going to look at them and go... Odie's Totem, 1 energy per turn, but -3 deployment? No. Fey gain Conduit 1 and 5 damage on Moon Cycle. I'm pretty sure I have no Fey units in the entire deck. Wow. Really? What a bad hand. I'm gonna... Do I want to cut a Hexcalation? I can't cut any Moon Rituals because the density of Moon Rituals literally decides whether or not I am in phase for the most important things I am capable of doing. I'm gonna cut a Wickless Tycoon. Gosh. I really don't have anything to do with this money right now. It's gotten pretty bad. Do I cut Phase Blessing? Second Phase Blessing? I'm up against Entropy. Yeah, I got second phase Blessing. Think I'm probably fine to remove one more primitive mold. Endless honestly hasn't been relevant at all. Starstruck is nice to be able to take out my own unit mainly. Escalation for moving targets off of the field, though, is pretty important still. I'll cut exactly one moon ritual. It's all you can get me to do. And do I have any consume cards even? Yes. Okay, they're each gonna do 30 damage. I believe more in the draft than I do in adding Little Vade to the bottom line, to be frank. I'm going to just treat Little Vade as trash, not useful in any way. All right, and then we also want to get the Molten Encasements and Drafts on the bottom line. Yep. Do it. These guys are burning out already. I don't need to extend their timer. I want them to burn. Cosmic Bolt. I definitely care about taking out the encasements, and I can take out 2 of them right now. I could also daze Entropy so I don't have to deal with one of your Curse of Entropy cards coming in. No, because if I kill one of these, the other one then gets stealth and makes it even harder to kill, so I really have to kill both if I'm going to kill either of them. Oh, that midline's got so much damage for you, buddy. I almost want to just wax and spike and keep them all burn out alive, but, well, should I? Doesn't keep them alive for long, just 4 turns. And of course, when they split at the moment, they do become weaker. Fine. There you go, big old wax and spike. I mean, I can hit Primitive Mold now. Drop a Legion of Wax on the top line. There we are. It dies instantly, allowing it to spread more damage. Boiler and bottom line now means I'll have practically infinity energy. Wax and Spike. Don't think I need to use that again now. I still get to keep my AoE if I just kill that unit. Wicked Blaze. Oh yeah, here we are. This would be when I would want to Wicked Blaze to return the Legion of Wax, but unfortunately cannot. Hell yeah. Give me even more sap. And then remove all the sap. Duality for 300 damage and Cosmic Bolt for 275, just based off of the conduit that we keep propagating. Just throw that damage straight at the boss 2 times, getting you very close to dead. Oh, one more turn will do it. Hell yeah. That's good fun, just getting a giant corruption stack on the enemy, courtesy of all of these motes of wax. Don't even have to finish the fight. Get him! I am very pleased to be able to do something with the Legion of Wax in this run. Granted, it was mostly just taking care of boss units because everything else died on the bottom floor, and the boss would have died on the bottom floor when it got there, but at least it bucks the trend of a lot of times where I have gotten a Legion of Wax and then gotten nothing that I was allowed to do with it for the rest of the run. After completing that, we have now unlocked Morsel Maximus. Umbra as our lead, Awoken as our follower with Bogworm's Growth for additional capacity, Mansion for even more capacity, Soul Harvesters, enemies gain 3 on Harvest. That's only on Harvest. So our morsels dying doesn't count. And Scrumptious Snacks, summon 3 morsel units on random floors at the start of each turn. That sounds like that's just going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Sure, it's up at Covenant rank 7, so we do have the Vengeful Shards and the Calcified Embers, but this is going to be great. Of course, it'll be something we're looking at in the future. Until then, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is the series playlist for all my content on the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past the numbers of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Add a thank you and a special thanks this episode to Moloko. Hopefully you're living and enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.